The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
This is Denise Nostrom, CEO and founder of Diversified Financial Solutions. Now more than ever, investment advice is needed. Not just where best to invest your money, but why. Are you investing for your future retirement? Are you retired and looking to maximize your income? Are you maximizing your income and concerned with leaving money for your loved ones? Are you investing for your retirement at the same time saving for your children's education and at the same time saving to buy another home? Are the markets in line with your goals? Are your goals ever changing? Please contact me at 631-758-8691. That's 631-758-8691. Or visit us at diversifiedfinancial.biz. For over 25 years, I have been helping individuals, families, and business owners navigate through all market conditions with only one goal in mind, my clients. Visit me at diversifiedfinancial.biz or call Denise Nostrom, founder of Diversified Financial Solutions, at 631-758-8691. That's 631-758-8691 for a conversation about my most important client, you. Well, happy Friday. We're going to try to keep this upbeat because for a short week, it has been quite the week. I'm sure we can all agree on that. But here we are again, Friday. And well, February just started and it's almost over. Not that I'm sad about it, however. It just means we're closer to spring. So you know what it is every single week. The weekly countdown. We are today, February 20th, 1 month away from spring. Yes, 30 days. First day of spring is March 20th. So, we got some rain coming down, which has been great. It was like 38. A lot of the snow is away, but I'm going to tell you, there's a big mountain where I have to park, and it's like really a big mountain. You could probably ski on it. So that's going to take a long time to go away, but a lot of the snow has gone away, but then only to come again this weekend. And what's with this Sunday, Monday thing? Like, that seems to be Mother Nature's new gig to kind of give us the snow. So we shall see what's going on. But I'm going to tell you that even the diehard winter fans are pretty sick of it too. Now we just have to make sure that we remind them how crappy winter was when they start complaining about the heat and the humidity. Just saying. Okay, so I want to thank you all for tuning in today to the Financial Chick Show. I'm your host, Denise Nostrom, the CEO and owner of Diversified Financial Solutions. Your Financial Chick is here to help you make better financial decisions and choices to improve your life and reduce your anxiety and stress about money, or maybe just about a lot of things. So I had an interesting day today. I had spoke to a client, and I actually am working all day, and actually I've been in meetings most of the day today. I had meetings with a client that came in from Jersey, and then I had a client that is signing up for Medicare. He's going to be turning 65, so we spoke to the Medicare specialist that in my office, and we were, for quite a bit of time. It's sad that you get to a stage in your life where you can retire and you just want to relax and calm down, and then they hit you with Medicare supplements and Medicare Advantage and Part B and Part B, A and B of Medicare, and then Part D for the prescriptions. And it's just so much. And this gentleman, my client, he's a professor and he's a smart guy, totally a smart guy, but he had so many questions and he wasn't sure. It was just like a whirlwind. And, but we got that taken care of. So I don't have a lot of time to really tune into the news and what's going on, but I will tell you, people are a bit psycho today. Hating again on people, that if you voted for a certain person, they're going to like get rid of you out of their life or out of their businesses. And so very, very interesting. I don't know what's going on, but I think we all need to take a deep breath and realize that honestly, the protests, things are just going to go on and are going to happen. And we hope that, the powers that be take care of stuff. But your one voice, or like getting rid of friends or family is not going to make the change that you think it's going to be. And listen, live your life, be happy. And if you have this much time, it means that you probably have a lot of time that you maybe should feed the homeless, maybe go to a shelter and give out food or volunteer. There's so many organizations, or buy food for organizations. There's so many people that need help right now. So why don't we do things that are positive as opposed to sitting on social media or texting or saying vile things to people that really should not be said. So again, I like to keep the show positive, but I did want to start with that because I don't know what's going on, but everybody needs to really take a step back and calm down. Okay. And then today, actually, February 20th marks National Caregivers Day in the United States. It's estimated that nearly 1 in 4 Americans is a family caregiver. Nearly 50% increase from 2015. Now, again, that makes sense because people are living longer. And when we live longer, obviously we need more help. And I had a client come in my office this week. Her mom has been my client for many, many years, in excess of 25 years for sure. And, she's become the caregiver of her mom, so it's just sad. So we want to take the time to recognize both the emotional and financial challenges facing these individuals. These the responsibilities can significantly impact someone's income stability, insurance needs, retirement timelines, and general long-term planning conversations. So get the help that you need. We have some brochures and some material that we can forward to you if you want to go to my website at financialchickshow.com. If there's any material that could be helpful, if you are a caregiver, that can maybe alleviate some of the stuff that you have to deal with, or give you some ideas as to make things a little bit easier. So just go to the website and say that you want that information, and we can email that or text that to you. So that's a little help for you there. It's been a really busy week again. It was a short week, so we had to cram everything into 4 days. I love short weeks, as we all do, right? But we certainly pay for that day off, Well, I wanted to say that I'm going to start off saying that my ship has finally come in, everybody. And I'm very excited. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. So let's check out this letter I received. Okay. So it was dated January 28th. It came in a white envelope with my name. It's from Canada, the Canada Trust. So dear Denise Nostrom, my name is Frank Hubbard, and I serve as an administrator in the Estate Management Department of TD Canada Trust, Toronto, Ontario. I'm contacting you in connection with the estate of a late client of our institution, Mr. Edward Nostrom, a national of your country. Now, again, this is from Canada, who resided in Toronto until his death in 2016. I'm going to paraphrase. He apparently, Mr. Nostrom, passed away intestate or without a will, and to date has no legal heirs that have been identified. So attorneys go and they do check, to make sure where the person married, was the person have any children, blah, 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 blah. But over the past decade, extensive efforts have been made to locate any surviving relatives, but these attempts have been unsuccessful. Consequently, the estate has remained unclaimed and under my administrative supervision. So here's where it gets fun, guys. The estate currently holds a balance of $15,245,000 US. So in light of the absence of direct heirs, he wanted to know if I would like to explore the possibility of being formally recognized as the next of kin and lawfully submitting a claim to the estate. Okay. The reason I read this is that this is all not on the up and up. Obviously. Well, and it's interesting. It's not obviously, because there are people that will actually react to this. Now, it would be great, 15 million, right? That would be life-changing. But this is obviously, well, they call it in the internet phishing, but that's exactly what this is. They fish by the mail. And they're just hoping that I will contact them and that this is actually a true scenario. It seems very legit. Pretty well written. The logo was pretty not so cool, like a TD Bank Toronto Dominion Trust company up there in Canada. But basically, you just immediately need to throw this out. Couple of things. Well, people say, well, how do you know? Why do you know? Well, first, you could very easily do a check. Before you do anything, this is the precautionary tales. Anything that you may get via the internet, text, because they're coming at you in every direction, and obviously snail mail as well. Make a check to see if it's legit or not. But here's the deal. So they said, look, what's the biggest deal? Because they're not really asking for anything. But, at the end, he's saying, just directly contact him via email. Again, seems very, this is not in your face. It's kind of laid back or whatever the case may be. But the way this will play out as follows. You'd email and they say, okay, we have all this stuff. They're going to send you all this information, administrative stuff, and it's all going to look absolutely phenomenal. And they're going to say, well, the cost that we have to do all of this for you is going to be X amount. Again, I don't know what that would be, but that's how they make the money. So you'd fill out all this information. Now they'd have all your information. And if you pay the fee, because you're like, okay, well, attorneys charge money. Estate administration will cost money. You'd send all this stuff and basically you would be SOL, you'd be out of luck basically, because it would be, you'd lose your money and they'd have your information. So there's a lot of this stuff that's going on right now. And I made a joke of it, but it's not funny. It's really, really serious. And you really need to be careful, to not fall prey to this stuff. And, it really is state of mind too. Depending on a person, if you're like having a lot of stress and anxiety in your life at some point, you may look at this and go, oh my gosh, this would be life changing. I'm just going to do this. This could be real. This could be right. Just always either do a search yourself, call somebody, don't knee-jerk anything. Today, there's a lot of people that are bad people, and you just want to make sure that you're doing the right thing. So call us if you're not sure. I don't like people to get into bad situations. So that's the precautionary tale. On the other side of the break, which is coming very soon, we're going to talk about some weekly tax observations I've found, and we're going to talk about a bunch of things. So stay tuned after the break. Welcome back. This is Denise Nostrom, the Financial Chick. My company's in Medford, and you can reach me at 631-758-8691 or visit my website at financialchickshow.com. I'm here to help you on your financial journey. Over the years, things change, and I'm here to help you navigate all those changes. So if you're just tuning in, we talked about on the first half of the show about the craziness that's going on in the world, and just stay away. It's not all about politics. Enjoy your life. Well, it's hard to take a walk now, but try to exercise, read a book, just stay away from the fray, because honestly, it's just that I had clients in the office today. It's like that 24/7 news reel that they've got to constantly talk about things, and they're making up stuff half the time because they don't even have all the information. So just kick back, relax, and do things that you enjoy to do. And that's all I have to say about that. But of course, it's a wonderful time. Well, one thing you can do is get your tax paperwork all together. Good time to organize. And it's not a good time. You have to organize and get yourself together. But I'm starting to, get some feedback finally. I know I've been talking about this as to what this tax season is going to look like. So these are some of my weekly tax observations or calls or people that I've talked to. So I spoke to one of my 20-something clients. He called me and we were talking about some other things about putting money into his Roth. He was, he didn't, especially with the 20-somethings, they're not really like working full time. So we always try to see what they earn once they get their W-2, and then they can put money into their Roth the year prior. So he decided to put an amount based on what he could do and basically on what he earned. So he did that. But then he also said, you know what? I have a question for you. Now, obviously, I don't do taxes, but I play an accountant on TV. No, I'm only kidding. But I know a lot about taxes, and I can, I do tax planning for my clients. But he said, he wasn't thrilled because he had to pay income taxes for 2025. And he's like, I don't understand what happened. So we talked about it a little bit. And he did tell me that he had worked 2 jobs. So that is a common issue that happens that people don't realize, that you do those forms for your employer or your new employer or both of your employers. And what you do is you do it based on just, your marital status, single or whatever the case may be. Now there's taxes is progressive. So it's based on various incomes. So let's say 0 to 15 and then 15 to whatever. So you're going to go into each one of those categories. So what happens is let's just say at one company, let's just say you make 10,000 in one company, just for an example, and you make 10,000 in another company. Now, if you do the tax forms, you're going to be in that bottom tax bracket. But when you look at all of your income from that year, you're going to be in the second tax bracket, the next one up, because you had 2 jobs. Now, the problem is that each company doesn't know you have the other job, right? So they're only going to hold out tax for the money that they're paying you that they know about. They don't know about the other company or the full amount. So this is very common. You don't usually see this too much if you have just one job, but if you have multiple jobs, like you work 2 jobs at a time, or you've worked 2 separate jobs in different times of the year, you're going to have that type of problem. So, speak to your financial advisor, speak to your accountant. When you do that tax documentation, make sure you're doing it appropriate for all your income, not just for that one company. Okay, so I hope that's clear. One of my clients also came into the office this week for their annual meeting. They're a married couple, but they each do their own thing. And I don't particularly like this, but sometimes we have to do what we have to do. Only one client comes in. But my client said that they had to pay income taxes for 2025. And again, I said, which was atypical because they typically haven't done that. So I said, well, what changed? So the person said that the spouse took Social Security and never withheld any taxes out of the Social Security. Again, another common mistake that people, when they sign up for Social Security, you have to withhold taxes. It's income and it is taxable. So if you don't withhold any taxes from it, you're gonna have to pay the piper. So that's one of the problems, and it's a very simple thing. You can go right to the IRS.gov website and you can download the form and bring it to the IRS office. I do it for clients all the time, but try to do it before you sign up for Social Security, not like the year after you do it, because you're probably going to have to pay. So that is another big common mistake people make. And then I know we've talked about this before. Don't rush to prepare your taxes. If you have like a brokerage account where you trade stocks, I know you want to, we have 2 factions. We have people that want to rush to prepare, and then we have some that wait for the last minute, but the eager beavers, you have to take a moment to breathe and make sure you have all your documents. So for my clients that may be listening, if you had accounts with Raymond James or First Clearing, you should have received your tax forms in the mail this week, because I know I got mine. If you prepared your taxes already, make sure your CPA does not finalize them, because you need to have all your documents. It's not ideal, but they are allowed to take until the 15th of February to send it out. So it's just always maybe make a note in your file cabinet from year to year so you can look back and remember, oh, shoot, I have to wait for that one. A great rule of thumb is just to keep a list of all the tax documents that you need to have from year to year. And if you've added an account maybe, or had a different job, jot that down. Or if you've gotten rid of an investment, you can take that off the list too. But this is a way to make sure that you're not going to miss anything, because that's not so good, to do that. So in other news, the IRS CEO says that over 94% of middle-class Americans will see tax relief in this tax season. So that is really good news. So the Social Security Administrative Commissioner, Frank Bisignano, I hope I didn't destroy that word, but Bisignano he was on Mornings with Maria and Bartiromo, and he said that he was reinforcing the fact that the administration, that Americans could see the biggest tax refund ever. And the leadership treasury has positioned us to be able to deliver a whole bunch of ways for Americans to save money. So one of the ways is the new $6,000 benefit for seniors over age 65. So it's $6,000 per person. If you're married, it's $12,000. Just be cautious. I think we talked about this last week, that it's between $75,000 and $150,000. So whether you're single or married, so actually don't take those numbers for gospel though. But I had clients come in the office today and they didn't get the full $12,000 because they made a little bit more than the bottom line figure of income, but they still got $9,000 right off the top of their income. So that's a beautiful thing, and that's something that's going to really help out a lot. And one of the other things that's going to be coming down the pike is the children's the Trump accounts, which is the sweeping savings initiative for children. So this is going to start this July, and any child born from I think it was, I'm going to get all of this information, hardwired. They're not going to really open up the accounts till July of this year. So we still got some time. But, when you look at how much you put that money into $1,000 for a child when they're a baby in 18 years, that's going to be a wonderful thing. And what's nice about that is it can be used for anything, whether it's a car, first home, college, whatever the case may be. So I just went on a webinar, and I'm going to have a lot more information as it comes down the pike. But I'll be reaching out to my clients that either have had children or grandchildren, and we're going to facilitate you getting your free money. So not too shabby. So speaking of saving money, so tomorrow, I'm happy in one aspect, but then I'm sad in another aspect because it's been a very busy week and I've been working crazy. But I'm going to my defensive driving course tomorrow, sponsored by Empire Safety Council. So for $33, it's going to be at the Medford Library. You can get to either reduce violation points. So knock on wood, I don't have any of those. But you also get a discount on auto insurance. So we all know that auto insurance has been insane, and the costs have been ridiculous and have gone up so much. So any savings that you can have. So it's a small price to pay. It's going to be from 10:30 to 4:30, so it's price and time, right? But I haven't been to one of these classes in person. I usually do it every 3 years online, but I was like, let's get in with the peeps and let's get in there and see what's going on. But I will tell you, the last time I went, I happened to drive a BMW, and I don't know, there was a conversation, and one of the gentlemen said, oh yeah, people that drive BMWs are obnoxious. So that's kind of, this was a couple of years ago, quite a few years ago, but there's just not nice people out there, and they generalize, and let's not do that, That's just not a cool thing. So anyway, I hope you all have a good weekend. Like I said, I'll be in my class on Saturday, and hopefully we don't get the snow. So we'll see what that looks like too. And just a little something as well. We have some really, really big news that's coming up very soon. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet, but we have some really good news. So thank you for tuning in. Remember to do better and be better. Take care for now. I look forward to being with you next Friday, and may the market be with you.
Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC. Blackridge Asset Management and Diversified Financial Solutions are separate and independent entities from Peak Brokerage Services.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.